Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our finale reaction for The Voice Season 18. We went through quite a journey to get to the end results of this, and we will talk about the Todd Tilghman versus Thunderstorm Artis, Toneisha Harris, Cam West, Mike Iverson. We will talk all about that. Can I first say, why did this have to be so long? And beyond all that, here's the thing.
3 hours is a bit much, folks. I get that we're all at home and there is nothing on TV, but this was a bit much. I think it's kind of unreasonable to expect their audience to sit on the couch for 3 hours. I think it's unreasonable for any show to do that. And I know you won't agree with me because you're going to say Survivor, but I think 3 hours is a very long time.
3 hours is great when you have good content. But for The Voice, I'll be real talk here with The Voice. I didn't watch the first hour because the first hour is just a recap of stuff we've already seen.
That's
so it's
true.
just like, I'm good with that. But I watched the other 2 hours. That still felt like it felt like it was 3 hours because there was so much filler. There was so much just like back and forth stuff. And then the actual results, the very thing that you're there for, they are so rushed to the point where you have like no victory celebration whatsoever with anyone. Instead, we have to listen to Blake become one of the teachers from Peanuts with the because his microphone's not working, as though they didn't know that Blake's microphone situation has been terrible for the entirety of the live shows.
Yeah, they kind of needed to, if you're gonna make it 3 hours, then you need to release results throughout. Bring us to the 5, to the 4, to the 3, to the final 2. Do not be like, okay, and here now we're getting rid of 2, so here's the final 3. Like, if you're gonna stretch it out and make us all be part of this, then stretch it out and make it something that we're all like, and who is it now? Like, you could have done that for the whole last hour.
All right, well, we're going to propose some ideas here. Before we do, if you guys do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Okay, here's just 1 hour, just one idea to pick up on what you just put down. Here's the perfect situation. You can leave the first hour the same. That's fine. People are going to be like me, and they're going to be like, hey, you know what? I've already seen all this. I don't need to watch this. But then, at the end of hour 2, narrow it down from the final 5 to the final 3. That way, you have a journey. That way, you have a progression. And I'm not just saying the word journey because I love Journey and we had to cover a Journey recently. But then we can have a full hour with the final 3 and actually spend some time with them rather than just like, oh, we're just going to kick a couple of people to the curb. Goodbye, Micah. Goodbye, Cam West.
Yeah, like, I understand that we're dealing with some technical difficulties. It is a strange way of doing things because everybody's at home. I totally understand all of that. But you can still take time. We've all gone on a journey with all of these people, and we're all invested in these people. So that's why, for me, if it went from a 5 to a 4, then you give us that time with Micah. We lost Micah. So then you give us that time with Micah. Let's have a little bit of conversation with them. How you feeling, Micah? What are you thinking about after this, Micah? Anything for Micah. Like, why is it got to be, okay, we got rid of these 2 and now nothing. Here's a bunch more kind of filler. I would really like to have spent more time with them because we've all spent so much time with them all season long that we're at the finish line and they're just getting kind of hustled off.
This is giving me really traumatic Beauty and the Geek flashbacks where everyone else got their own exit episode and they just like kicked me out like 10 minutes into the finale and I don't get a full exit episode. I'm bitter now. But okay, well, anyway, this isn't about me. All right.
You're not alone. See, this is happening to other people.
Voice people, I feel your pain. But Todd Tilghman feels no pain because Todd is, shocker, the winner of season 18.
Yeah, we've been saying this for a little while, and we said it yesterday as well in the last video. We're all here for the Todd win. This is what was going to be coming.
let's not forget that for about 5 minutes in yesterday's video, I went into I think I had an out-of-body experience that I lived in this delusion where I thought Thunderstorm could actually win.
No, Todd had this in the bag, and he's had it in the bag for a while. As much as I love Cam West,
yeah,
and my guy didn't win either.
I know. This is the thing. Like, I think Todd is legitimately talented.
He is.
I think Todd is a really, really good singer. I think he appealed to a lot of people out there. He sort of checks all the boxes for the typical sort of artist that does win The Voice. But here's the question I will propose to people out there. Does Todd have the best chance of being a star out of all these people in the finale? And mind you, I know we live in a world where basically nobody on The Voice ever ends up being big stars.
That's true.
Is someone else going to have a better chance at a long-term career? Because I look at Todd and I think, okay, seems like a really nice guy. Seems like he has a great family, really good singer. I think maybe if he really gets some good writers, he can kind of go somewhere maybe in like the contemporary Christian field or something like that. But I just look at people like Cam and I look at people like Thunderstorm and I think, these guys could actually have like a mainstream hit or two if they really got lucky and they actually had support from people at The Voice after the show. And I'm not talking about the coaches, talking about the label, but all right.
The other thing is then you also have people like Toneisha who have this wildly incredible, intricate voice that can hit so many different notes that is very rare in a singer. And I see someone like her and think this is someone who after the show could have a career as well, that there would be people lining up to have her recording with them. I mean, it's just, you can't see that voice and let it go.
Yeah.
What I'm more so wondering is, we're in this era of Blake is winning and winning and winning, and it feels in some ways, even just watching tonight 3 hours of The Voice and having like a second for Todd to have his win. Todd was the winner, not Blake. But is it that people, because we are watching The Voice and The Voice is so focused on the coaches and not Todd, that then it's more so, is it that we're supporting Todd because Todd is awesome? Or are we mostly supporting Blake because we all like Blake because we're getting so much more Blake time than we're getting the Todd time? And we should be getting the Todd time. Like, he's our winner, so where's the Todd time? So my suggestion for The Voice, and I don't think this will ever happen, is that like they have the blind auditions, I almost feel like us as the viewers should get blind teams. So that we know that there are coaches and they're coaching people, but we don't, and I don't know how this would play out, but we don't know who is behind each artist. So that at the very finale, when it's like, oh, Todd's the winner, then the chair turns around and it's like, oh, it's Blake.
There is a part of me that thinks this could be really fun. The Voice seems to be like the most risk-averse people ever, so they probably won't listen, but I do think it's fun because Let's kind of go along with this. You have a blind audition, and it's ultimately a situation where you get a number of people that sort of turn around, and then the contestant can see who turned around for them, but we can't see it. They choose somebody. It's locked in. I guess maybe you don't get as much of a moment between the person and their coach there, but you're substituting that for like a legitimately really fun reason to watch a elimination later.
Yeah, and we've seen this kind of work with Masked Singer. Now, I know everybody goes online, Googles everybody, but for the people that don't do that, we have an entire season where you're getting invested in people you don't know. You don't know who they are. You're invested in sort of the guessing game of it all. And that's part of what made The Voice really popular to begin with, is that you can't see who's auditioning. It's a mystery. So that idea of continuing on that, you don't know which coach is coaching somebody, then we all get to be involved in that mystery when we see somebody like Todd go up there or Micah or anybody, and you're like, oh man, sort of the way that they're singing or the way they're kind of being coached. I think it might be this person, could be this person. Then you get that fun surprise at the end when it's kind of like, oh, I didn't expect that.
It's a fun idea, and really, The Voice, it needs a reboot at this point. It needs to find a way to shake up the format, because I think there are legitimately really talented people. Like, I have listened to Thunderstorm's original song like 8 times today, because I think it's really, really great.
It is great.
And it bums me out sometimes that I think the format of the show, it makes it really hard to get to know people. It makes it very hard to sort of individualize all of them. It all feels like the same thing time and time again.
It is a machine.
It is. We need more focus on the contestants. I don't know how you necessarily do that, whether it's more personal packages, more artistry in their songs, something like that. Maybe
even this finale, have way more in on who are your finalists. You can't have a big reveal at the end and then it's like 3 hours of everybody else and all the coaches.
It really does feel like they could find a few little ways to sprinkle in more personality for not just themselves, but also the show itself. Let Carson have a little bit more fun, because it feels like Carson is just like programmed to say like the same thing over and over and over again. It needs to be loosened up. Here's my other crazy idea. I would just take a chainsaw to the battle rounds altogether. Get maybe a smaller amount of blind auditions. Smaller amount of people go into the knockouts. You do the knockouts, and then you have more live shows where you actually get to hear people, and you're not eliminating like 5 people on a results show. It's too many.
Yeah, it's too many. And I mean, for me, those battle rounds and stuff, they're just not really that enjoyable.
No, to me, it's the weakest part of the show overall. I would be more than happy to get rid of the battles, but Todd, congratulations to you. You were not who I was rooting for personally, but that doesn't mean you're bad. I'm not going to be protesting Todd's win in the streets.
No, I mean, there was great support for Todd. We've seen it online. It was obviously with his song as well. Todd is a great winner for this show and for the audience that's watching the show. It makes sense. That's why he was very, sort of early on when we're going through all this. It's like, yeah, Todd is going to win the show.
Yeah. But the problem is, of course, that we could all project that Todd was going to win the show a million miles ago, and so it kind of reduces a little bit of the excitement around everything. But
yeah, and it also, in some ways, because of that, he's a country singer, he's with Blake, of course he's going to win the show. It makes it really difficult to then start to get super invested in other people because they're not going to win.
So, this is the thing. We know there will be another season of The Voice.
Yep.
We don't know when. Please, guys, take some suggestions. Change can be good, and I don't count what we're doing right now as change because you were forced into that change. If that didn't happen, we would be getting the same exact show from the studio.
Yeah, it's time to shake it up a little bit, and I know why this rule is in place that all 4 judges have to have somebody in the finale, but what is the point? I mean, Blake still won. His person still won.
Yeah, he still had 2 people in the finale.
Nothing is changing with this rule. It doesn't make it any more fair. In fact, to me, it makes it more unfair because then you don't have the best of the best in there. It's about the coaches again and them being allowed to make sure that everybody gets sort of a horse in the game and stop being about the coaches. This show has some really fantastic, beautiful singers on this show that should be showcased. And that's what frustrates me about the show. It's not about the singers, and it should be, so that it's more about like, yeah, Todd got a win tonight instead of Blake got a win tonight, because it's about Todd.
Well, I hope they're listening. I hope we still get The Voice at some point in the fall. I mean, who knows? But for now, we will reflect on what is directly in front of us, and we got to hear from you guys. What did you think about The Voice Season 8 finale? Todd's win, were you rooting for him? Were you rooting for someone else? And also, this long show to get to about 3 minutes of actual results. Be sure to share in the comments, and if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store, and we'll see you here next time.